What's the dumbest thing you were paid to do and how much were you paid?
Hang a TV. Then make sure that TV worked the following day and then take the TV down the day after. Made $1,000. I worked as a part-time gopher for this wildly rich artist for about a year. Circa 2017. Did all sorts of random, and I mean fucking random, jobs for the guy. By far my favorite is he once paid me $350 cash to drive to downtown LA to find him the perfect piñata. AKA a donkey that looks like a unicorn. AKA an ugly unicorn. He was also very color specific. Had to be a specific mix of every color, but no red. I'm expecting an all-day hunt. But, if you haven't been to downtown Los Angeles, let me tell you, it must be the piñata mecca. Massive warehouses back to back taking up whole blocks where you can browse any possible variant of piñata. Buzz Lightyear piñata? Got it. Sex doll style piñata? Got it. Giant snow globe piñata? Got it. Donald Trump's head piñata? Got it. I found the piñata I was looking for within 10 minutes, browsed some more for my own curiosity, then brought the piñata back to this guy's house. Whole thing took maybe an hour and a half. Got paid in cash. Then had the pleasure of watching this guy hang the piñata in his living room where he wanted to whack the shit out of it alone. His reasoning, no clue. But I got paid, baby, no clue. I was paid to walk slowly down the sidewalk, videotaping the sidewalk. Looking for any cracks and lifts in it. The city had built a new bridge off-ramp, and when they connected the two spans, it didn't line up. Who engineered this thing? So, I was paid for 8 hours a day, 2 weeks straight to gather blocks, and blocks of sidewalk. But, this was back in '04 and was paid about $24 an hour to do it. Cool face. I'm a hobbyist's wood turner. It's more of a passion. Once as a joke, early into my hobby, I made a wooden butt plug and posted on my Instagram, again, as a joke. I immediately had an acquaintance message me asking if I could make her one that was obviously safe for the human body and various other business that such an item would interact with. So I did. Totally safe for the human body. She paid me well for it. Later, her followers were messaging me asking I could make them some. And, now, that's something I do often. Edit, okay, so this has entirely blown up overnight. Very encouraging to start an Etsy store. So I guess I'll be in the works for that tonight after work. Thank you all so much, the love and support. If you haven't tips on an Etsy store, please let me know. I'm kinda jumping into this really blind. Also, here's a picture of a plug I made when I first started out. http://imager.com/shay/8edgefish. Copy and paste data from two websites, admin console database type, into a spreadsheet. For thousands of rows of data, during a very short shift so that it lasted several days. It was not dangerous, illegal, pull your hair out difficult, or anything like those, but it was the most boring, most tedious, make you want to eat a shotgun thing I have ever done. I would rather have not gotten paid and done nothing than to be paid even more than I was to do that, especially as at that time I didn't need the money. But I stuck around hoping the type of work I'd be assigned would get better later on. It did. It should be illegal not to include an export to CSV option for those sorts of things, if it's a private, user-owned data, cloud-hosted, dataset. Friend was a security guard at a hospital and wanted to try out his police-grade pepper spray. I ended up with $60 and burning eyes for the night. I paid my 7-year-old in $30 worth of Among Us plushies to eat one bite of soup. Does that count, or would that get filed under dumbest thing you ever paid someone else to do? I tutored for the 21-year-old daughter of a wealthy family and charged around $65 an hour. I warned in advance that I still charged for cancellations if there was less than 24 hours notice, but she would regularly arrange 6-hour sessions or longer, then cancel on the day. I told them and let them off the charge the first few times, but nothing changed, so I thought, fuck it, person shrugging. For 6 months or so, I was probably making an extra $400 on average per week just for cancellations. I ate a slug for $200. My dad gave me $50 once to drive my sister to her work and pick her up at the end of her shift. Her work was 5 minutes away. I was paid $50 to assemble some brand new gym equipment for a friend because her husband had been dragging his feet for months. I opened up the box, pulled it out, and made the easiest $50 of my life because it was pre-assembled. I just took 10 seconds to unfold it and was done. She was furious with her husband, and still paid me to spite him. Edit, dang, this blew up. Alright, time to answer the question on everyone's mind. Why didn't she do it herself? She was in her 50s and had a bad back. It was one of those inverted back stretcher things to help relieve pain. The husband was 100% the bad guy in this case. At large gigs, my friend pays me to run sound for his band, but all I really do is stand between the band and the audience / wedding planner / event host / etc. To take announcements, suggestions, lost keys, etc. I get $100 to stand there and accept napkins that say, brown-eyed girl. Computer repair person. Have been paid several times to push the power button. When I was younger, my geography teacher realized I was the only one paying attention, second last class on a Friday, most people were antsy, so he stopped in the middle of his lecture once and said, I'll give all the change in my pockets to anyone who can repeat back to me what I've been saying this past minute. He tried a few of my other classmates for fun, but the most they could guess was the general topic. He got to me and I was able to recite what he was talking about, and he gave me all his change. I got paid enough money for a carton of chocolate milk and a scone for paying attention. I once burned a co-worker with a spoon dipped in the deep fryer on the neck to cover up a hickey he got from a waitress. $5. There was some sort of love triangle involved. I've done dumber. I just wanted to share that story because that was pretty stupid on his part and I got to be part of the memory. $300, if I recall correctly, to type and mail 2 one-page letters that were loosely dictated / described to me by an acquaintance. Actually, I think the male acquaintance was trying to hit on me but didn't have the slightest idea how. Otherwise I cannot fathom why he didn't just do this simple job himself. I'm a straight male, incidentally. Had a temp job for 5 weeks in 2014 in Melbourne for a phone company doing a thanks a million campaign. This involved calling mobile customers and thanking them for being a customer. Most customers were confused, but it was the easiest gig ever and we mainly just played games and quizzes in between these brief and easy calls. When I was a med student, I volunteered for an experiment where I was put in an MRI machine for 3 hours. I wasn't allowed to move anything except my right index finger. I had a mirror set up in front of my face so I could see a screen positioned against the wall. For 3 hours, I pushed the button if I saw a target light up. I've never felt claustrophobic in my life until about 1.5 hours into the experiment. The last 1.5 hours was pretty rough. I felt like I was buried alive. I got $100. 25 years ago, and in Indiana, the law was that in order to operate nail salon, someone there must hold a full cosmetology license, not just a nail technician license. A nail salon opened next to the hair salon I worked at and they all held nail technician licenses, and the one who held a cosmetology license would be delayed in career for a week for whatever reason. At 18 years old, I was paid $25 an hour to merely to sit in the nail salon as the holder of the license. I answered no phones, tended to no clients, did nothing but paint my own nails repeatedly and watch TV for an entire week. Was a sweet gig. I rented my chicken to a photographer for $50. I was a pizza driver for a summer. One time, I made a delivery to a rich area. The customer said his big bottle of Mountain Dew or whatever TF was missing from his receipt, because the dummy who took his phone order screwed something up, and I should go back to the store to get it. And he tipped me $5. So, I drove back to the store to get his drink and then back to his house to drop it off. He met me at the door and said his pizza was wrong, because the same dummy made another mistake, so I should back to the store to fix it. And he tipped me $5 more. So, I drove back to the store to get the correct pizza and then back to his house to drop it off. He met me at the door and said he just realized his side item is wrong too. The dummy put him down for breadsticks instead of the cheese-covered kind, so I should go back to the store to fix it. And he tipped me another $5. So, I drove back to the store to get the correct side item and then back to his house to drop it off. He met me at the door, thanking me profusely. And he tipped me yet another $5. $20 tip from a massively fucked up order.